on the TMBOTC channel. I hope you can hear me fine. I hope that you can hear the game fine. And hopefully both of our audios aren't corresponding with each other. Like one isn't louder over the other. But basically all I want to say, I used to support Jim Sterling and watch a lot of his videos back in the day after the whole Slaughtering Grounds incident. He was a pretty cool guy. He's just gone really off the deep end after two of his videos that happened. One was the Division 2 about politics not being in gaming, and he was saying that they were on all games when clearly I'm pretty sure games like Pong and such probably didn't have not nearly as deep politics as well as it was not the big focus. Matter of fact, there was a quote, I can't remember what YouTuber brought it up, but there was a YouTuber I was watching just the other day, and I can't remember the quote, but it was basically saying that yes, politics are in most things, but I guess what it was trying to get at is it's not the central focus of that thing or things, whatever it may be. Or that the art is more important. And then, so you can probably separate the art from the artist. You could also use that as an example too of saying, I mean, kind of. But Jim Sterling being a dickhead over Zelda, I haven't even watched the video. I don't care. I stopped watching his videos after he forced a lot of his personal, like, bias into a Dark Souls video that made no sense at the time. And it was almost like he was trying to correspond today's politics and say that almost to an exact T that today's politics are exactly like Dark Souls, whatever Dark Souls has going on. Even though that's a post-apocalyptic world, it seems like there's no rulers anymore, or at least it's not ruled in the same way as it used to be. It just seems kinda silly to do that. And he went all out, and even though the video was just all over the place with mixed messages, the ending was bad of that video, and then I have watched that video, sadly. I feel like he's abusing his power. He knows he has a lot of followers. Why is Angry Joe and such still have him under their... I know they probably feel bad or they want to support him still, or maybe they are somewhat good friends, but man, he's gone off the deep end over the years. It has nothing to do with his personal beliefs and stuff, and where he's at now. It's mostly has to do because I know what most people are gonna say because they always do crap like that. But I think it's just mostly on his attitude towards things, how nasty he's approached certain. Forcing his ideals and opinions onto things, the way he goes about it. And for him, his video is basically titled that Zelda should have been spoiled. I don't even think Last of Us Part 2 should have been spoiled back in the day, though that story was a piece of crap. I wouldn't say that game is 100% crap, but man, it is a piss you off, stupid ass game. It's like a smart but also stupid at the same time game. I don't want to get into it. Smart because it looks good, it does have great quality, and there is great acting. I was actually thinking of a movie that I was watching, why it was a terrible movie. And they brought up, similar things, and I think Prometheus could be another example. Both those movies have brilliant acting. You could even say the cinematography and such is really good. But, man, everything around the main two characters in, 451 Fahrenheit fricking suck, and the the 2018 one. But the acting is really good. Those two at least. I'm just gonna call him General Zod and frickin' Michael B. Jordan. Just call him Creed. But skipping over that, I don't think any game deserves to be spoiled. And for Jim Sterling, literally just in his thumbnail, to just be like, Zelda deserves it. And use Kotaku. Kotaku is, however you pronounce that, I'm just going to call them tacos. They are a bunch of idiots sometimes when it comes to spoiling stuff. They're just doing it to be dickheads, too. And Jim Sterling needs to frickin' stop with the dickhead moves he's been doing. I haven't watched a lot of his videos lately. After he did his Dark Souls video and stuff, I no longer watch him. He's just either forced his opinions onto people and been a major dickhead about a lot of his subjects. His editing, even though I liked his editing and his video quality before, and I wouldn't say my video, like any of my video quality is not even close to his, and even touches. But I will say that his editing and the stuff that he puts in his videos, I just think are pretty cringe, if that's the word to use. There's just some weird times where he stays a little too long on certain things, or like he uses some ugly images. Like there's this one image of a Viking dude with his head tilted that he uses and I understand that he's doing that on purpose, but there's like other times where that he does that with another image and it doesn't feel like the same purpose as the previous image. And he'll hold on it too long, or he'll pick some of the worst and weirdest images for that segment or moment. Let's see if we can take this pig. And I've always thought, like, I lost a lot of interest in him over the years. But yeah, I just think Jim Sterling's got a real attitude on him. But he's just gotten worse with time. It sucks, because I wish he would go back to like doing the type of videos he did. He still kinda does, but the way he approaches a lot of the subjects is very forceful and very like aggressive in his opinions. Like there's a certain layer to being aggressive that works, and I do think like he did do it before in an aggressive manner, but I feel like the subject or the quality of the subject was a lot better back then. I don't think it's quite as good now. It's a lot more used in a almost bullying way a little bit. I wouldn't say totally, but it feels like sometimes he's there, especially with the Dark Souls video in the past. It felt like he was just trying to say everybody else's opinion's wrong and his opinion's right, blah blah blah, all this crap. And it was just a really nasty way of going about something he believed, but not everybody else was going to believe or accept, because the way he went about it was very rude, very insensitive, wasn't very professional. Yeah, I just stopped watching him for a long time now, since that crap. And seeing stuff like Zelda, his Zelda video where he's, well, just in the thumbnail alone, he's just saying, like, Zelda deserves to be spoiled. No. Frick you. No game deserves to be spoiled. Once again, I said even Last of Us Part 2 deserved to be spoiled, even though I don't like that game. No game deserves to be spoiled. That is a stupid thing for you to say. Just because you're salty over a game, or you know the game is going to be really good, because honestly, that's obviously the reason he is salty over it. Clearly. He was salty over the last Zelda game with Horizon. Horizon's not a bad game, it's just a generic open world game. Back to the bottom of the core. It feels like a Ubisoft game. Except that I think the thing that pulls people to it, other than fanboys of PlayStation and it being a big PlayStation title for Guerrilla Games, is because it's not their typical first-person shooter Killzone series like game. By the way, I have a stuffed nose, if you can tell. But yeah, it was just fairly generic. You had the piss-stained obvious climbing area. I call them piss stain because they're just the obvious yellow, bright, painted areas for where you climb. And then the dinosaurs. The dinosaurs are, I think the robot dinosaurs is what gets people. Though once I tell you they look like something out of Michael Bay's Transformers, then you're probably less interested. But yeah, I think the dinosaurs, the look of the world, and the lore is what people like about the game, or what attracts them to it, other than, once again, probably PlayStation fanboys going hard on defending their beloved freaking exclusives. And honestly, fanboys of anything is freaking pisses me off. I don't care about fanboys of Nintendo, I don't care for fanboys of Xbox, PlayStation, whatever. They're all equal in my eyes and how much I dislike them. No, but, which I did want to make a video talking about each of them, but separate from being a fanboy of any of them. But, I'm saying, I'm Jeff Goldbluming it up now. I do that a lot. Come on, roll into that, damn it. I haven't played this game a little bit. I did play it like a stream or two ago, but I've been playing. I have to be clean, but I've been playing a lot of Zelda. And it's kind of messed up my perception of playing a little bit lately. But yeah, all I have to say is I don't think Jim Sterling should be saying crap like that in just the thumbnail alone where he's saying it deserves to be. Like, he's just being a dickhead, and that stuff is why I refuse to watch him. The only reason I saw that was because I was like, oh, since other people were talking about Zelda, and I remember Jim Sterling hated on the original Zelda. Let's see what his video on Zelda is titled. And of course, there it is, in all its putrid glory. But yeah, he's just got out of deep end. He's done a lot of videos that have. There's still some videos that are the Jim Sterling of old, but most of the time I felt like it's kind of like that Dark Souls video, or say this Kotaku video he's made on Zelda. So yeah, he's not the same. He's not the same, and it's okay to do whatever you want with your channel and such, but I do think the way he approaches things, opinion-wise, much more aggressive, nasty, rude, so on, so forth, and the above. I remember I made a message. I actually had asked a friend about some things, and I brought up some this was when I wasn't quite as like mad about his point of view, which was the Division 2 video. I was just like, like sharing a honest opinion on the thing. It was once again kind of lengthy, that's me, but I shared an honest opinion. I remember there was some jerk on his, under his, that was like, you must be a child. And it was like the irony of his freaking comment, because he had so much grammar. I have grammar too, but it's mostly grammar where I forget to put periods and commas and crap in the right places. That's mostly because I'm like in a hurry and I'm not thinking about that crap. Like if I was actually more focused on what I was writing, because that wasn't a situation where I truly like was as focused other than what I was saying. Because I'm like that sometimes. Sometimes I go back and I correct myself, or I put the periods and commas, all that crap in afterwards. This person's just like, you must be a child. Obviously I'm not. And he had grammar. It's more likely a child would have wrote shorter messages than longer, if anything. So I'm pretty sure he was also wrong on that. He was the one with the shorter message. I don't even remember the guy's name. He's that memorable. But I just remember there was a dickhead on his comment section even too. And just the irony of he just kind of seemed like a person that was just looking for trouble, basically. Or wanted to defend his beloved YouTuber. Look, there's YouTubers I think are really cool and I love, but if they did something like that, like the Dark Souls video of theirs and such, I would be like, what is wrong with you? And then point out the flaws of what they say. But yeah, and it was just like a comment. It's not like the guy was going to care or ever read it. Like, that doesn't even matter. And it seemed like a lot of other people did think the same way, because that video became finally picked up on his bullcrap videos and started making their own videos dissecting and showing what's wrong with what he's saying and the subjects in which he's saying it. And I think it was his Division 2 video, his first video at the time. But yeah, like, I dropped watching him after that, and I just dropped everything. He pisses me off when that stuff came out. And I knew what he was doing. He was being manipulative with Dark Souls 1, because he knew a lot of people were getting into From Software games. From Software is becoming a big deal. A lot of people respect Dark Souls, and he used Dark Souls as a platform, as well as the platform on YouTube, because he knew he was a big deal there, or at least big enough that people would listen to him, or a group of people. Equivalent of an evil cult. Would listen to him, and he just abused and manipulated that, and it was a very disgusting thing. Your internet connection quality is currently not sufficient. It does that sometimes. That's frickin' incorrect. It's done that to me before. A stupid thing pop-up that just came up on the right top side of the screen. But yeah, he was just using it as a way to manipulate people on his platform, and to force his subjective opinion onto people, which he saw as objective, I'm sure, at the time. But yeah, no game deserves to be spoiled. That's a really stupid thing to say, very rude, nasty, alone, just to make your video alone titled something stupid like that, and it just comes across really disgusting. So that's all I have to say on that. Also, I want to quickly say one last thing before I end this, because I wanted to make this shorter. People need to shut the hell up about Zelda's durability and endurance. I was gonna make that into a separate video, but I'm just gonna do it here. Shut the hell up. um, Take, for example, Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal from Doom 2016 has this gameplay functionality or mechanic where it wants you to use multiple weapons to your advantage instead of just one or two throughout most of the game. It's kind of like Dark Souls as well. And it's just a mechanic that either makes things more difficult or makes you expand your learning curve as well as how you play the game. And endurance and and durability are purposed for a reason, for a very similar reason. And there's many ways to go about in the games to go about avoiding them being too tedious for you. If you just actually looked. I feel like most people don't freaking look. And it's a design choice that is a very brilliant and actually smartly thought out design choice. I mean, some of the best games have durability systems. I honestly think games that don't have the same utilization of those systems to their advantage for those same reasons, as well as just being more creative in the game and finding more creative routes and stuff, don't have that advantage, that have durability systems I actually feel are worse than Zelda's, or endurance that's worse than Zelda's. Games like The Witcher 3 and Dark Souls, once again, like those games have durability systems and such, as well as other games have endurance. And they don't always, like, take for example, like swapping between weapons in Zelda. You can actually pause the game to swap between weapons, or you can find weapons out in the open world, or you can use one of your abilities as a weapon. Excuse me. And when it comes to Dark Souls, you don't get that advantage because when you pause the game doesn't necessarily pause. Unless you're a really good Dark Souls player, but I'm talking about like the average Dark Souls player. Then maybe you can switch out weapons really quick. But if you're not that kind of person and you're just the average Dark Souls player, you're not going to be that quick at switching out your weapons or exploring. Most people will probably stick with the same weapon. I've done that before. Yeah. Even though I like to experiment and stuff, or give myself variety, I know what weapons are best for me in a FromSoft game, like this one. And, like, Doom Eternal, like, has a great, like, it's better in the last half, or the second half of the game, with how it does that, because I do feel like it doesn't give you enough ammo pickups and stuff in the first half, where like there's not quite as many a variety of weapons yet at the beginning, so it kind of makes things a little iffy. Also, that game that year got really like no game awards at all. Frickin' Last of Us Part 2 took everything. Last of Us Part 2 was frickin', even if it wasn't rigged, there was a clear big-ass bias, and I think people need to get their bias out of their ass when it comes to the game awards. Those frickin' judges and crap need to get their bias out of their ass, their heads out of their ass, basically, and not do that when it comes to judging video games. It's really stupid. So yeah, I think that's all I had to talk about. Once again, shut the hell up about the endurance and durability of Zelda. It's a design choice that is smartly implemented and done well. It actually, I feel like if they weren't the way they were in the game, especially in the beginning, it would make the game too easy as well. It wouldn't be like the first Zelda Breath of the Wild, which isn't the first Zelda game ever, obviously, but the first of those types of Zelda games, was more kind of like you could just literally rename it just from the title alone. Zelda Legend of Zelda survival game. You could have because that's basically what it was. And I have limited ammo and other resources, and you have to uh, utilize your inventory screen to the best of your advantage. Even Deus Ex, like stuff like that, or Prey. You had like a small room, or like small bit of room for inventory, like healing items or bullets and such, and you had to make sure you saved a lot of that stuff, or you were able to actually be able to pick up everything you need and be able to store it, or else your inventory is full. So this is kind of a similar thing with Zelda. It's like not exactly similar, but it's close. And it's kind of a different example of what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Once again, shut up on that stuff. So, yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying Zelda. I've been playing it a lot. I'm hoping to review it soon. I'm going to be playing Street Fighter 6 for the channel with my friend. I will see when, because my friend has very picky times when he's going to play Zelda. Or not Zelda. He's been playing Zelda, by the way, too. Most of my friends have been playing Zelda. Frickin' love Zelda. I didn't think it was going to surprise me with the way it goes about its puzzle solving and its abilities. The stuff people have been doing with the new abilities in that game has been insane and sometimes inappropriate. Yes, I've seen a big wooden figure with cock and balls. Like, why? And he pisses fire. But, yeah, it's freaking crazy some of the stuff people are able to manage to do with that game, and I've been really enjoying it. I feel like I'm replaying Breath of the Wild again. I do not agree with it being DLC. I don't think it I don't know if I would agree with it being $70, but if anything, I'm going to say even though it's graphics, and graphics don't matter to me, I will say that this is probably the first game that kind of feels more like if there was a $70 game, this is it. This game, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I will say that everybody is frickin' wrong on calling it DLC or an expansion to Breath of the Wild. There's clearly way more content going on in this game, and a lot of it is similar content, but put in done differently. And I'm just gonna say there's kind of almost 3 open worlds technically in this Zelda, and there's a lot more quests, both main, side, shrines, so on and so forth. There's a lot of side stuff in general, and just everything to do, everything to collect, armor sets, weapons, everything you can think of, resources, things to upgrade and level up, currency systems for different things like pose, and I can't remember what the one for charging your little batteries symbol is called. But yeah, yeah, I hope to be reviewing Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, as well as I want to review and talk about Resident Evil 4, and I want to talk about sadly Redfall. I'll get to why that feels sad in the video when I do it. Not sure when I'm going to. Once again, probably if I did it, it would be sometime it's like after maybe 5 or 6 p.m. Eastern time, either today or tomorrow. I'm not always reminding people when I'm doing a stream. I'm sorry when I don't do that. I'm a forgetful person in general. I have a bad memory, and I usually know that the video will stay on the channel, so you can watch it whenever you want to. I'm also going to recommend Cap Miner's latest video on Five Nights. I saw there was a video, and I loved the video. I also did not expect them to actually go through with Five Nights. It's got that actor, I can't remember his name, who plays PETA in Hunger Games, I think. What a weird name, by the way, PETA. What is he? He's gonna defend the animals. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to that, honestly. I feel like it won't be completely true to, FNAF. I haven't seen much of Foxy, though. I went through the trailer again, and I think I saw a shadow that almost looked like Foxy in the trailer, but I'm not certain. And, yeah, be looking forward to that. And now that a lot of video game movies have been doing a little bit better now, and been getting across the right things to people, yeah, I'm hopeful for that. So, I got some laundry going on right now, and I gotta talk to my therapist later, so, yeah, I schedule different appointments, with my therapist, so that's kind of the other reason why I would have to do it later at 5 or 6 p.m., so, because of laundry and therapist, but yeah, I'm just bumbling it up a lot. I would taught too in like I'd had taken theater arts classes as well as I used to do book readings in front of my class and such. I was taught to not that like doing you know, is not something you want to do when you're reading or acting or anything. Even though Jeff Goldblum is a famous actor and he does it a lot. I love Jeff Goldblum though. He's freaking hilarious to me. It's kind of like watching Christopher Walken in a way. He's like his own Christopher Walken, unique actor. And I love his demeanor, his characteristics. He's just a really interesting person. And he does a lot in his movies. You can literally record all of them, and I've seen tons of people make fun of that. But I genuinely love watching him, and I can't not laugh whenever I do it too. But yeah, I was taught not to do that, but I love Jeff Goldblum. And he's been a successful, great actor. So maybe it's it does feel kind of genuine, him doing the ums, because, like, of course, in real life, you're probably going to go or have an awkward situation where you're like, So it does make his acting feel somewhat genuine whenever he does it. Though he does overdo it, I overdo it as well. I'm the Jeff Goldblum of YouTube. No, he's the Jeff Goldblum of YouTube because he's on YouTube in some places at least. I don't know if he has his own channel. My goodness, the frickin' he's taken over my life. He's going to control the world soon enough. We're all going to be umming. Weird conversation. Anyway. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video nonetheless, the subjects, hopefully, oh my goodness, I can't not do it. Hopefully Jim Sterling stops being a dickhead. Stop making an ass of yourself. Be a better person. I believe that you can be a better person, so stop being a dickhead. You're gonna make an asshole frickin' title to your videos, I'm gonna make an asshole title my video. See, we'll fight fire with fire. Shut the frick up. No, but once again, like for any YouTuber, even though the stuff that I said previously, I do hope that in his case too, that he grows to be a better person, that he learns from the stupid mistakes of stuff like that. And my goodness, and he like grows as just a better person in general. I don't know how else to word it. Just be a better person. Just stop being a dickhead, please. People don't like it when you're a dickhead when it comes to stuff like that. It's not deserved. Shut the hell up. It's ridiculous. Even with the stuff I said previously, once again, hopefully you learned from your goddamn mistakes. And this was goddamn one of them. So, I thank you for watching, and this video will always be on the channel whenever you want to watch it. I hope you enjoy nonetheless, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye. Oh.